You were talking about how he.
Yeah. Hey, calm down. We know the show's starting, okay? I know you're chomping at the bit to get to Kellen Winslow and his ridiculous retardedness. I don't know what happened with his brain. I don't know. We're going to get to that, though. Yes, y'all, this is the Homeboy Sports Network, sports news and views with an attitude. My partner in Ohio, Mike Johnson.
What up?
Lover J right here, Jose Gutierrez, broadcasting live from the low Lacey Olympia, Washington, the capital. And let's get right into it. First, we're going to get to Kellen, because I am a man of the U. I do love Miami. And
he's a soldier.
Oh, I knew somebody was going to do that.
Fucking soldier. Wasn't he supposed? We'll get back to this. Wasn't he supposed to go to UW?
Yeah, let's. What'd you say? UW.
Yeah, he was scheduled to go to UW.
Gosh, they already had a tight end who shamed that school.
And we won't talk about that. That's a little too close to home.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
Because we're fond of someone. We're very fond of someone in that family. We won't just
that's blood ties.
Very fond.
We love the family. So we will do this, though. You have a new NBA champion who has decided to not be in the United States, which is a nice treat for Canada. The Toronto Raptors come through, 6-game victory. You know what? I guess none of us really predicted that on the last show.
No, we didn't. I was Warriors all the way.
I wimped out. You went the total opposite way. I said they could do it, but I wimped out. Gosh. Well, break it down. I mean, to be fair, injuries were certainly a factor. That's 1,000% factual and true, and that would have been a factor. I think that game would have went to 7. It could have swung a whole different way with Kevin Durant and Boogie in the game.
It could have swung a whole different way if Klay Thompson was in the game the way he was. I mean, he was just pouring. He might as well just throw him in the ocean. God, that dude, man.
I forgot about that. That's 3 stars, 3 All-Star injured.
Oh, my God.
You think that doesn't count? 3 players on that bench count. You think the 3 All-Stars on Golden State being injured doesn't count? It certainly was a factor. Certainly.
Yeah. Who was the
guy?
Steph
can't carry that whole squad. That's obvious. So any thoughts about that?
Steph can't carry that whole squad, man. He he did what he could, man. I mean, and Steph, you can see it as the game wears on from time to time. You know, it's interesting watching Steph Curry play because he's either. It's almost like he plays in 2 halves, right? Sometimes he won't have a great first half, and you know it's just a matter of time of when he's going to turn it on. And then there are other times, Jose, where he has a phenomenal half and he expends so much energy, and then when the fourth quarter rolls around, especially when he doesn't have his counterparts, you know, it seems like he just, you know, he missed a lot of shots in that fourth quarter in that game 6, man, and it was unprecedented. He missed that game. Either would have been a game tying 3 or a game winning 3. Yeah. What about 6?
Okay. Well, what else do you want from the man? Spare the man. Okay. Obviously, he's not that guy. Okay. There's one guy who does all that, and his name is Jordan. Okay. There's only one. Okay. And he's dope. Steph is dope, but. You know, like even LeBron, he needs a rider with him. He needs one. Even Jordan needed a rider with him.
Yeah, even Jordan. Yeah, you know, my thing is this, man. Not one player in the history of the NBA has been able to carry a team to the championship without I don't want to say supplemental players. I think that's too harsh of a word, but without complimentary. There we go, complimentary players, not necessarily on their level. But they play a huge role, and I mean, it goes back from the beginning of time, man. So,
and you're subtracting from the Golden State Warriors one of the best players of all time, arguably with Kevin Durant, one of the best big men in the game, DeMarcus Cousins, Boogie, and one of the best shooters, if not top 3 shooter in the league, Klay Thompson. You know, those are
top 3 shooter. Yeah, those 2 guys. I mean, that's arguably the best backcourt One of the best backcourts in the history of the league.
Yeah.
Best,
so, come on.
At least you know, best shooting backcourt. Even if you want to scale it down, even if you have, you know,
yeah, that's right.
You have some fondness from other backcourts, but I mean, the only backcourt I can think of that they wouldn't be ahead of right now is that Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars backcourt.
And that's hard because that 3-point factor really gives Golden State an edge. And Isaiah and Joe Dumars are lights out on offense and defense.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know, man. What can you do? What can you do? Anyway, I guess we'll get past this because we have to. And the title is in Toronto. Kawhi Leonard showed up to play. Kyle Lowry, this guy showed up to play. They came and took the title game in Oakland and closed that arena down. And you know
you knew that series was over when that owner pushed Kyle Lowry. It was like karma ain't gonna let them win.
Spare me with that. What is wrong with you? You know what's wrong with you? You're going way out of bounds. That's probably a black man you would walk around across the street if you encountered him in Oakland somewhere in San Francisco. That's probably that kind. He's probably that kind of guy, that owner. Give me a break. You're going to push him with the safety of security and everybody else around there? I don't
I thought you were talking about me. I was like, what did I say that was wrong?
Oh, no. I'm talking about that kind of person. You know, I wonder what you would do if you seen somebody like Kyle Lowry in Fillmore, East Oakland.
I bet you wouldn't say. I bet he wouldn't say shit. First of all, I probably wouldn't be in those areas. And then second of all, I probably wouldn't say shit. So,
no, doubt it. Well, let's shift gears to another executive level person. I forget this brother's name, but he's obviously
Masai Ujiri.
Ujiri, accused of physically accosting one of the Oakland PD who's on hand for security in the title game. He's rushing into the court to go celebrate with the team, which happens every year. Multiple personnel from the championship winners are always exuberant. I don't know what the losing executives are, what they do, but he's trying to get in, and the officer says he got pushed in the face. And but I saw footage of this man's his credentials in his hand when he was in the hallway before the end of the game. I saw that. So this is odd to me. I don't know. I don't think.
I didn't see all the footage, so I can't really speak on it.
No, I didn't see
but what I will say is that it was an unfortunate event, and all props goes to the brother in the green shirt because he de-escalated that. He de-escalated that situation like it should have been de-escalated. Yeah,
no big deal.
Yeah, and thank goodness for that. So now, I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, the height of the moment, that's the biggest moment in your career. And then, you get swell up, man. You swell up. The cops swelled up. Masai Ujiri swelled up. So, yeah, I mean, and rightfully so, and I don't know, man.
Well, what we do here, this is simple. We do not want our police officers feeling like they're getting bucked up on and like they're about to be punked. So that's out of the question. So I think a simple apology and a gesture of goodwill could squash all this, and the police need to get off their sensitive horse as well, while some of our colleagues in law enforcement are down here drawing weapons down on a family of in Phoenix, Arizona. If there's not any outrage over that and we're complaining about this situation, I have a problem with that. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the Phoenix PD drawing down on a engaged couple, black male, 22 years old.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it, man.
You see that? Okay,
yeah,
so that's inexcusable. So there's no excuse or justification for that. Anybody who's for that kind of behavior, I have a serious problem with, and I won't go into labels or any assumptions. I just have a problem with you. If you think that was adequate police work, I think that was piss poor police work, and I don't think what Oakland did was piss poor police work. They do need to secure that court, because any old body like Kevin Hart and Michael Blackson could be trying to get onto the Eagles podium when they're winning the Super Bowl. Right. So spare me.
I get it. Yeah, no.
But I do like the Green Man. I do like the Green Man jumping in, de-escalating. That's a beautiful.
I get it. This is what it is, a teachable moment. Both the cop and you side, they can come to the front. Hey man, you know what? Every step I was doing my job. My apologies. You know what? I should have had squash it. That's it, man. We got bigger things to move on to. Speaking of which,
let's move along. And speaking of which, we've talked about Kawhi. Let's transition to the Lakers, where I think he should be next year. Just a little nudge. Back to our Laker conversation. Are we to the Lakers now?
Yeah, we're to the Lakers now. I mean, I think we've waited long enough to get to where we need to be and where we want to be, and quite honestly, what people expect from us and our show.
Now, I know you're a company man. Not only were you, an NBA official, but you're one of the guys who you're one of the people who was shaking their head yes at the scene in Office Space when the consultant showed up. You're one of those people, okay? So anything the Lakers do, you're going to find the positive in it. That's
just me though. Like anything, I can always find the positive in anything. That's just who I am, man. So I had to in this situation, and fortunately enough, it worked out. Now, don't get me wrong. The Lakers have a long way to go. They got to fill out that roster. Right now, they only got 6 players on their roster. And so first of all, before we talk about what needs to happen to finish constructing that roster, what do you think about what do you think about Dylan for Anthony Davis? Do you think it was a good move? Do you think it was a bad move? Do you think they gave up too much? Kind of curious to get your feedback and your thoughts on this latest transaction.
The only drawback I see, I like the trade. I like Anthony Davis. I like his demeanor, his attitude. He wants to be in L.A. I love LeBron James, and I think he needs a good compliment. And he's got one with a big man who can move and groove. I am not pleased. I think New Orleans got the better of the deal, which is fine. It's not a competition between who won the deal. We're talking about what the Lakers need. So from a Lakers standpoint, this was the right move, not the better move. I think the upside is all over New Orleans if they can keep that core together, and they're about to have my favorite draft.
Here's what I'll say about that. Well, maybe they can do a better job of developing those players than the Lakers did. But I mean, we had those players, and they did jack when we had them.
Oh, really? Well, you sure did have a nice, cohesive, positive family.
Here's what I'll say. When those players had the opportunity, Lonzo Ball, they played well in stretches, but when they had, when it was Lonzo Ball, when it was Brandon Ingram, when it was Kyle Kuzma, when it was Josh Hart, now you could argue that there were some injuries, but they lost a lot of games to some teams that they should not have lost to when they were trying to make a push for the playoffs, and they lost to a Bulls team. They lost to a Cavs team. They lost.
These are children.
They lost to a Knicks team. Stop me when you think they should have beaten one of these teams. When you don't think they should have beaten one of these teams.
I'm stopping you at Cleveland. That core of players that is now gone are children. I didn't like Brandon Ingram because he's too entitled. Josh Hart, I know he did his thing. Well, Brandon Ingram said, I better not be out of the starting line. I'm like, who is you? Back on up, man. Be humble. But nobody's humble. I can't expect it to be from him. Very few are humble. What I didn't like, I didn't want to see Lonzo Ball leave, but considering who his dad is, it made it easy to let him go.
Yeah, you would hope to see you could see Lonzo play in the Lakers uniform a little more. You wanted to see what he can do. He really hadn't had a healthy season, but some of the things that I just can't get over, when I was talking about some of the games of the teams that they shouldn't have lost to. And a lot of the times where they lost those games, Jose, was at the free throw line. You look at a 46% career free throw shooter on Lonzo Ball, and just barely over 70% in the Brandon Ingram. And they lost it in turnovers, too. So
what are you, Bobby Knight? Man, you have no tolerance for the young age. These are juniors in college right now.
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say to that point, right, about free throws and turnovers. Now you just look at your past NBA champion in Toronto Raptors, and I think Kawhi Leonard was a 34 out of 38 shooting free throws in that final series, and Toronto didn't miss a lot of free throws. So that's my point. There's a lot of hidden points that were lost with those guys, and you add Anthony Davis.
Well, okay, well let's. You want to go factor for factor?
No, I was just saying when you add a player like Anthony Davis, who's a probably a top 5 player in the league right now. What you also get is you get somebody who shoots 36% on catch and shoot threes, and he's upwards of 80% from the free throw line. And not to mention what you get on the back end on the defense and all the other things that he does offensively as well. So,
and he
sounds like a lot, but you got the best player, man. So, no, Lakers won that trade.
Oh God, he's strong with the brow too. He is strong with the brow. I'm all for Anthony Davis being in LA. I would have liked to see Lonzo stay, but being that he's biologically related to LeVar, got to go. You got to go.
Got to go. That's right. But LeVar went to your school, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. Did he graduate though? Did he graduate from WSU? Because he don't act like it. Did you see what he did with Did you see him on Stephen A. Smith and Max Kelly?
I didn't see him. I heard about it.
He made a snide comment with
Molly
Jalen Rose's wife, Molly Farram. She said, "Can we shift gears?" He said, "I'll shift gears with you anytime." That's what I'm talking about. Get him the hell out of here. We don't need to.
Don't mess with Jalen Rose like that. Jalen Rose is
I want a BYU coach. I want a Mormon coach or a Catholic coach. We need some discipline in the Laker organization. I want some milquetoast, calm down, some very formal, family-oriented basketball. We do not need no ridiculous personalities no more here. Get them out of here.
Oh, man. So, all right.
I need Orthodox religion in the Laker locker room now. These people are losing their mind. How can we do anything with LeVar Ball's influence around? And then he said, wait. He said, I wanted them to trade Lonzo. That was my goal the whole time.
Yeah, sure you did.
I'm totally unimpressive. He's unimpressive to me.
Yeah, man. He's a carnival barker, but neither here nor there. All right, so we're happy with the move, right? Although you think I'm a company man, and
I love it. I love the pickup. Now we're talking about complimentary players. Let's shift to the free agent market now, because who are they going to fill? Who the Lakers going to fill their roster with? Lakers are now the favorite to win the title next year with 6 players on the roster. So, come on.
All right. So, okay. So, what do you think? So, if you're the Lakers,
got 90 seconds. 90 seconds.
All right. Here we go. So, if you're the Lakers, do you if you can get him? You go after Kawhi. You go after. I would say you go after Kawhi, Kemba. And I know you're not a big fan of Kyrie. We had this discussion.
I'm going to tell you about that.
Pre-production. So we had this. I won't even bring this up. I mean, my original thought was if you can get Kawhi, Kyrie, you get him. But if not, I think you fill out the roster with some snipers, man, with some shooters. I'm a big fan of Bojan Bogdanovic. I'm a good fan of Nikolai Mirotic. Where I think players.
I love you going to Eastern and Central Europe on me. I love it.
I think there's some potential to get somebody like a Terrence Ross from Orlando, or maybe even who would really be a good pickup. Would be Patrick Beverly. Wouldn't you like to see him in the Laker uniform? He wouldn't even have to move out of his house in Calabasas. He could just come on through.
Oh, he still has his house out there?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's with the Clippers. You have to change. You even have to change parking spots. You go across the hall.
Oh, is he with the Clippers right now?
Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would be nice pickup. We need that. We need a tough point guard who's going to yield to LeBron every play anyway.
He's not going to yield to. He can play, LeBron. Shit, LeBron's only playing 65 games next year anyway.
Oh God, you already got this figured out. Who's he sitting out against?
Load management.
Oh my gosh, here we are. This is how we're going to win the next 3 years. All right, I like that. Kyrie, I mean, we'll fill in the blanks in future shows. Kyrie's out, okay? He's out. I don't know. I don't care if he comes for the league minimum. He's out. I saw what happened in Cleveland. He left Cleveland out of ego issues because he didn't want to be behind LeBron. He goes to our famed Celtics and shows that he is not even a leader, okay? And that's
I tell you what he did do, though. He did hit that game winner. He did hit that.
One game. This is what you do. You know what? Positive Patty. That's you. That's you.
Positive.
You know what I'm saying?
Killing me right now. All right, man. All right, so Dick.
Jubilation Johnson. That's you. Jubilation Johnson. He can find pleasure and happiness in any event. Yo, we don't need Kyrie in L.A. Let me close this. We don't need Kyrie in L.A. because he already had problems with LeBron. We don't need any more soap opera. We've had enough. L.A. is Hollywood. They got enough. They made a mistake keeping Rob Pelinka. Okay, he should be out of there.
I think what you'll find this year, I don't think there'll be. I mean, I could be wrong. It seems wherever there's drama, wherever LeBron, the drama does follow. I mean, it happens. It happens. I think he thrives in the chaos, though. So.
He seems to be calm through it all.
He's like,
ain't nothing gonna happen to me. So what am I gonna get all up in arms about?
No, I think if I'm the Lakers right now and I'm the Lakers brass, they made a good move. Now let's see what else they do with the roster. Time to fill it out. But if I'm them, you go get some shooters. You get some, JJ Redick's available. Not Steph, but Seth Curry's available. You surround those guys with some shooters, man. And to spread the floor with those, and I think that it would be I just think it would be a phenomenal team that they would have, and definitely could compete for the championship. It's just Golden State is hurt this year. In 2000, I think I think the league is open.
Let's see what Vogel can do with this newly christened Laker team with 6 players on the roster. This will be interesting. Let's shift to the draft really quick. Your favorite pick? Mine is the easy one again. I feel like a wimp, but I liked him since I've seen him. So go on. Who do you want? Who you picking?
Oh, for the draft?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know who's going number 1. I think the question is, Zion, man. Yeah, that's all day, man. You'd be a fool not to draft him.
Gosh, man, I'm so jealous. Jeez, he's awesome. He's an awesome talent.
Now, the question is who you take at number 2. Do you take R.J. Barrett or do you take Ja Morant?
I take my picks from – how does he get along with Zion, R.J. Barrett? Didn't they have some kind of – they were tight. So I take – who's the number 2 pick? Here's what I do if I'm the Pelicans. Who's number 2 pick?
Oh, number 2 is Ja Morant.
No.
Who's picking? Who's picking Memphis?
I go to Memphis with my number 4 pick and next year's first rounder, and I get Barrett.
Ja Morant's a game changer, man. You have an aging point guard and Mike Conley Jr., who he's aging, can't really stay that healthy. He had some serious issues. You take the point guard, man, to go with the dude. Oh God, what's that guy's name? He went to
Why the hesitation, Mike? Why the hesitation? You were positive about everything, and then with my injection here of a suggestion to push this trade through, you're reneging. You're pulling back.
Oh, what? Is that John Lumpkin right there?
Yeah, they're gonna get him, huh?
Who, Ja Morant? Yeah, they're gonna take him. I would take him. It's a no-brainer. He's too explosive. He reminds me of he can shoot. He's explosive, kind of like Steve Francis was.
Yeah, that's a nice. What happened to him? Hey, who's the 3rd pick? I'm making this trade if I'm the Pelicans. Take my 4th pick and next year's first rounder, and let's get Barrett too. Bang bang.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but the way the draft works right now, I mean, you don't know what you take the bird in the hand right now because Phoenix is, for all intents and purposes, should have been the number 1 pick. The way the lottery works now, you might as well just keep your draft pick that that you got instead of, not taking a gamble. That's what I would do. I wouldn't trade that pick unless
I
you're
like
gonna
it.
get some, unless you're gonna flip it and get a proven player if you're New Orleans. But hey, you know we took my man, David Griffin. He can work wonders. Someone I think the
Oh, is he
Lakers.
in New Orleans now?
Yeah, he's in New Orleans, and you see what he got. So you see how
All right.
good he is. So that's what that's why I suggested the Lakers should get him those many months ago. But that's neither here nor there.
I like it. I like the New Orleans deal, whatever's going on down there. I think it'll be dangerous being top-heavy with the young players being that they lack so much humility these days, so much entitlement. I mean, you got to have a great coach to be able to balance that out.
You know what, Jose? The New Orleans will be good in about 4 years. They remind me of a Denver Nuggets team. They had a lot of young players, and eventually they came into their own. And you saw what that mean now. And now we all know that once you get to the playoffs, it's an older man's game and a veteran's game. But they're number 2 seed in the West, so they weren't bad. So that's who they remind me of. They remind me of who they were, 4 or 5 years ago. So,
well, you're building it to the Pelicans, so this is all looking good for the near future.
You're going to sell some tickets. You're going to sell some tickets, and you're going to be on some TV. So you're okay. You're all right.
Eat your Wheaties, Pelicans. All right. You're always good and great and excellent with your NBA analysis. Appreciate that. Mike, let's shift here to our final story of the show, and we take this to California. Oh, gosh. Can you believe this? Can you believe it? Get him the hell out of here. What is going on with Kellen Winslow Jr.? I love his dad. Gosh. This is very upsetting. Go ahead, break it down for the people who don't know exactly what happened. Give them a taste.
Oh man! So those of you, if you're not familiar, Kellen Winslow Jr. was just convicted, I believe.
Convicted.
I think it was either 8. I think he's either spent 8 or 12 years in prison for rape, and he was accused of raping 4 women, all one the age of, I believe it was 17, but
17.
Those charges got dismissed.
No, my brother. These are all.
No. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh.
Yeah, those I believe those charges got either dismissed or he wasn't acquitted. I think it was like a hung jury on that. Anyway, they didn't charge him with that one, or he didn't. He's not serving time for that one, but 3 other ones where the women were.
The 3 other ones. You believe it?
55, 77, and I want to say 84.
Man, let me go ahead.
Yeah, of one woman. I think the one who was 77 was a lady that was at the gym, and he fondled himself in front of her in the gym, saying, "Do you like that?" The other woman, I believe, was a homeless woman who he picked up while she was hitchhiking, and he raped her. I guess you don't have to say allegedly. I mean, he was convicted of that, and there was another older woman that I can't bring up the article right now, but it was not looking good. And if you read this SI article, man, there was some crazy, aside from the rape, it was just his behavior throughout his time in the league. And it was to a point where, Jose, that you play football, right?
Of course.
And you play at a pretty high level. You played football at Washington State. Did you travel with the team?
Didn't travel. Nope.
Didn't travel. How did you guys do home games? Did you guys sleep in your own bed, or did you have hotels?
We slept during my time. We slept in your own space. You
okay. All right. Well, anyway, all right. So for those who don't know, when you travel, you get paired up with roommates, And it was so bad to a point where um, other players would go to the coaching staff and beg not to be roomed with Kellen Winslow Jr. because this guy would openly watch porn. This is before he would just watch it on his DVD player, personal DVD player. Before, before his cell phones were popular, he would just watch it on his personal DVD player, and he would pleasure himself no matter who was around. So you just imagine, man, you could be in a room with this dude, and he just whip it out and start watching it right there, and you're right there. You could be playing Xbox, you could be playing, you could you do whatever. He did not give a fuck. He was just out there.
That sounds like a nightmare.
He was masturbating on team planes. Like, you just couldn't keep it in, man. Oh, my God. Yeah, this shit's wild.
Oh, God. That's a lack of self-control. That's a nightmare, okay, that you couldn't keep it in.
Oh, here's another story. So when he gets drafted, right, he's drafted by the Browns. And this is all in the article, man. This shit's wild. So he was drafted by the Browns, and they decided they want to do a video vignette for him, Hall of Fame dad, and before the beginning of the season of his rookie year. So, Kellen Winslow Sr.'s there, but Kellen Winslow Jr. is nowhere to be found. So they see a black SUV, which appeared to be his. They thought, well, go check to see if that's him. See if so we can't get him over here because he's late for this. This dude is in the parking lot. Come on, man.
Where the hell are you taking me? I don't know what happened. What the hell?
He's in the parking lot, man, with some Vaseline getting it in. This dude can't help it. He can't control himself, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. So I mean, the question starts to beg itself, man. Did he have any brain injury? Sometimes shit like this happens. Is it CTE related? Who knows, man? Or is it just some other, it's a sickness, man.
Well, I'd like to think it was CTE when I first heard the story, but now that you're filling in these details at a young age, like such, when he's just getting out of college. I think he left early too.
I guess so. I mean, you get knocked in the head. Your brain's not developed. I don't think there's any.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any. Time limit on when you can get CTE. You've been knocked in the head playing football all your life, and your brain isn't developed yet. I
agree with that. I'm also going to add, he seemed to be an entitled, spoiled kid, and being who his father was, there's a very good chance. That's a real factor. It's unquantifiable. You can't measure it. But there's a factor with people who are entitled, privileged to the point where they think they can do whatever they want imperviously. No problems, no discipline, nobody to check them. And he seems like he could easily fit into that category, in addition to possibly having some football-related mental injuries and just being mentally ill. Now, let me add this. The crimes he committed as California state crimes as a penologist and criminology student and professional in my life, and knowing California culture, let me just add something that's not going to come up in the statistics. His life is in jeopardy right now. His life is in jeopardy. He has to go what's called Punk City, PC, protective custody. There's no way that man or any person, even just him being a star, would make him veer towards PC. So he's away from general population. Now, the fact you have a sex offense convicted and it's almost verifiable by the inmates do not tolerate that. Especially in California state prisons where the gangs run the prison. Where the Aryan Nation, the Black Gorilla family, the black gangs, the Mexican Mafia. I mean, this is real stuff if you don't know it. People don't know it, but that's what he's in California state prison. His life is on the line. Something to be aware of.
So let me ask you this. So when you say PC, this is just from my knowledge. So when you say, so how if it's protective custody, how do other people get to him then?
Well, they don't, except what happens is everybody in PC ain't a punk either. There's a lot of gang dropouts who are tired of being involved in the gang life. So it's a separate yard and facility from the general population. If you and I don't even want to put that in the air. You know, if anybody went to prison,
please don't.
If any normal criminal, if a murderer, if an ex-murderer went to prison, he'd be respected, and he'd be on the main yard. People would respect him and get to know him. Anybody who harms children, this is the ethics of prison all over, and I know California State Prison specifically. The ethics are, you do anything to females and children, and your ass is on the line, and you probably ain't going to survive. And if you do survive, you're going to become the opposite sex that you were when you came in. You're going to be abused.
Yeah,
and
so you probably wish you didn't survive at that point.
Exactly. This is a seriously upsetting story. I was so upset to hear that I was bewildered. I was like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And obviously there's more to him than I ever thought I knew. And I just know the consequences for his acts are legal and beyond legal. He's not a safe person. And he's not going to be safe in California State Prison. Won't be. Nowhere. Anywhere. He can't walk around by himself.
This doesn't sound like it's going to end well, man.
It might not, man. It really something to, keep him in your best thoughts and prayers. I mean, I don't know what that'll do. I don't know what kind of condition his head is in, but it sounds terrible. And he's a handsome guy. Man.
I was making light of it. I mean, if you just read the article, you can't but not be bewildered by
no.
I'm reading there.
I'm not judging your. This is sickly humorous. It is so outlandish.
It's like I didn't do it. Shit.
Well, I can see. I mean, I'm speechless right now. Almost. I just it's because it's totally not funny, man. The deal is the other inmates got daughters, wives, grandmothers. A lot of these men in there were molested. See, you know what I mean? And this is how it gets people on a path of waywardness and steering them down paths of anti-socialism and rebellion, just in general life. These people do not forget any of that. You are totally a target. He's a target. Kellen Winslow Jr. is a target, and everybody knows it in California. And he's got to arrange something where he can be isolated. And that's its own prison. That's another element of hell on earth in prison.
Man,
yeah.
He's got $42 million, so he can keep himself alive for a little bit. Boy, jeez.
Well, at least he's got money on his books.
Yeah, we definitely got money on his books. Somebody else got some money on his books, on their books too.
No, couldn't you pay for something? Why not? Do we have to get back into this ethical question? Why are you trying to take from somebody? Why don't you just pay? Go to the strip club. What is the deal? But I think the age of the women.
Man, look, he's not right in the head, man. Like, he's just not. You can't be, man. Like, when you prey on vulnerable people, these women were vulnerable, man.
Yeah,
they were vulnerable. They were vulnerable, man. Anytime you was a homeless woman or a young girl or there's a pattern there. These people were vulnerable, and he preyed upon them. And there's no excuse for that, man.
I wonder if you'd be able to detect anything based on the type of pornography he was into,
I bet you probably could. I think they did say. I gotta read it again, but I think they did say he was watching old lady porn. Yeah, man.
Wow. All right, look. So we
gotta go. We gotta go. This shit could go. We could go down the fucking rabbit hole on this shit.
I'm thinking. All right, now look. This is the Homeboy Sports Network news. Sports news and views with an attitude. Make sure you subscribe to the page. Tell a friend about the show. For my man Mike Johnson in Ohio. It's your homeboy, Jose. We out of here. And we'll
Until
catch you on
next
the
time.
next one. All right. Peace.
Peace.
Put him on his back and